Thank you so much for tuning in to Free For All, your source for all things geek, you dick.
What?
That's Evan raising the roof over there.
I was introducing Facebook to the show. We were starting. You're welcome. And you too, YouTube. Yeah.
Everyone should raise the roof.
That's Chuck Nally. Raven. Oh, no.
yeah!
Shit. Trey Elliott?
Yo?
No.
Aw.
See, and he ruined it. I'm Josh Barnett.
That's what you get for not wearing a hat.
See,
That's
for
exactly. I'm already different. I might as well embrace
Cover
it.
that shit up, man.
Nobody wants to see
You
that.
don't wear a hat on your face.
There's a glare over there.
True story.
Indeed. How's everybody doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Chuck?
I'm tired.
Yeah? What?
I know geometry.
For 8 days, or 8 hours, sorry.
No, 8 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
And about 7 today.
And I was
Then you
supposed
get
to know
real
about it.
Snippy on
Yeah, I
group
was.
chat.
You asshole.
I was.
I
Why
saw
you beat me over the head? It's like we knew about this. Check the things. We need to bring the calendar
I was
back.
been
like,
trying the whole
easy,
day to get someone to
relax.
talk to me about the podcast plan, and you were being an asshole. And don't you act like you wouldn't have said scroll up to Josh. At
Oh no,
least.
I'm sure I would have. But he would have said something to me, and I would have said something back to him. That's the way it goes.
I saw
so I
Evan's
said something
reply,
to you.
and then I just put my phone in my pocket. I was like, I'm out of this one. I got.
I didn't get too.
No, we didn't
No,
get
I
it.
know. I went back and looked because then
I-
we started talking about comics again.
Yeah. I basically said, shut your old mouth. I'm sorry. Let's just move on.
Sorry, must
I
have been
didn't-
implied. 'cause that wasn't
Yeah, I
it.
didn't catch the sorry in that. You go ahead, go back and
Let's
look.
go to the board.
Josh pulled it out of his pocket.
I did, and there was no sorry there.
Oh wait, it might have been just the me and you one.
No, he was on here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is good. This is good podcasting.
How? So
Oh,
how,
yeah.
This is what I have to do.
How was
I have to
everybody's
be
week?
right.
My son was at college for a week. That was interesting. He liked it.
Sorry.
But
Yeah, no, there's a quantifier to it,
Oh,
but I did write. I'm sorry.
It didn't feel like a genuine. I'm sorry. It
That's
kind of
the-
felt like a
the
sarcastic.
wife-
I'm sorry. But
It wasn't
this is what
comma,
the fuck
but
is
it was
going on.
period, then but.
no, that's still a wife apology.
Oh, I mean,
I'm sorry, Evan, but you're sleeping on the couch.
That was the implied comma. Butt.
Implied comma butt.
what are you doing?
Or did you say butt comma?
Does it matter?
It does.
Is that like a vestigial tail?
It might be.
a what tail?
Vestigial, right? It's the when you're born with a bit of a
Just a
nub.
little bit, yeah.
Bit of a nub. Type it in. Look it up on your
no,
computer.
I believe you. I like to learn things. I just hadn't heard that.
I don't know how to spell it exactly. Vestigial.
Probably with letters.
Yes, Digil. You
Yes.
nailed it.
Nailed it.
Well, that's good. So he was at college.
Yeah, SCAD in Atlanta. He was there for 6 days. No Doug, no parents or anything, and he had a good time. Did some good stuff.
Meet some cool people.
Apparently, got some phone numbers and stuff like that. He's talking to girls when I left, so that was
Good.
There you go.
Yeah, he's kind of broken out of his shell a bit this past summer with the show and SCAD and all that. So
That's good. I mean, it's
Yeah.
about that age. I was really shy, and that's about. He's close to the age when I started being able to kind of talk more and stuff.
yeah, stuff like that's really difficult for him because of his condition. But
Right.
you know, he's working on it, which is good, and it's what we want him to do.
Yeah, he comes up and chazzes Josh now. So.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I still
You
don't know
got
what the
Chaz
fuck
in the-
happened to me, but
you got
got
Chaz in the
Chaz.
face.
That's what happened.
It's
Yeah.
very simple to understand.
You got
Chaz.
right in the face.
I had my 5th anniversary.
I saw that.
I went to the Biltmore. With
Did you get Chazed?
I did not.
Did you give the Chazin?
I did.
He was the Chazzer,
That was a good
not
time.
the Chazzy.
It was about as long as a trip as you can take with a 19-month-old and a 7-month pregnant wife. So
Fair enough.
it was very hot.
That does
As you-
sound a little bit like Controlled Chaos.
But it was all right. Layden was super good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
had
always good.
J-Lo, on the other hand,
Cried the entire time.
wouldn't go to bed.
Always hungry.
That was a good time.
Yeah. You're happy she doesn't listen to this show, right?
Nah, she knows I'm an asshole. It's fine. She knows what she made.
That's fair. You had a good meal, though, and everything?
Oh, yeah, that
I
meal
saw
was
you post
legit.
about
Yeah,
it.
that was one of my favorite meals. At the inn at Biltmore. It is pricey, though.
I would assume. I mean, I don't know what the Biltmore is. You've told me before, but I forgot already.
You don't know what the Biltmore is?
It's a fancy house.
It's the biggest private house in America.
I don't know.
They give tours and shit.
It's eight.
Why
It's
would
on
I know that?
8,000 acres.
God damn, for real?
It's
Yeah.
also in North Carolina.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's in Asheville, right?
yeah.
I only know that because I saw his post. Don't think I'm faking it here.
So wait a minute. Do you have a cone of ignorance around that particular city?
There's a mountain range there.
He knows
Actually-
literally everything
The folks
about
in
North
North Carolina don't cross the mountain.
Actually, I used to go to Asheville all the time. I'm not a fan of it. My aunt used to live there, and there's real bad blood in the family there, so I don't like Asheville.
It's too liberal there.
It's not even that. It's not even that. No, it's definitely not that.
Man, they have a big ass Christmas tree in Christmas time.
Do they?
Oh yeah.
I won't see it because I hate that place.
There's a giant, Hanukkah menorah
See,
thing.
that was
That's
the only,
even more
the only
of
other
the
time I've been.
deterrent.
I went to the Biltmore was at
You-
Christmas. The Christmas at Biltmore is really awesome.
Oh yeah.
Now they have the Cholula display. It's display. That's a show.
It's a show that
It
I
was.
hate.
It's a bunch of glass sculptures that they moved in, which must have been the most nerve-wracking job of all time because they are gigantic.
Right.
And they're all over the place. But it's really
Man.
cool.
Do you imagine the amount of Windex they have to go through?
No, I couldn't.
One earthquake and that place is fucked.
I mean, just in general. Kind
Yeah,
Western
probably.
Is
Western
Asheville
North
on the-
Carolina not
It's
known for
definitely
their.
known for their
Is it
fault
on a
line.
fault line? God's sake.
It's in the mountains. At one
Josh
point, there
doesn't
was
know.
obviously fault lines. There was land
This-
that collided and caused that.
It was fun. The restaurant was only the second place I've ever been to. It was
Science.
they you had to, as a table, pick if you wanted 3 courses or 5 courses, and then you picked from whatever item you wanted from the course, and there was just a set price for
5
everything.
courses
So
for you, right?
no, we went for 3, and it was plenty.
Oh.
It was 5 courses would have been a lot of food.
Did they have
I can do it.
the palate cleansing sorbet?
They started off with a free amuse-bouche, which is a pre-appetizer, and the only reason I know that's because I watch Friends. And
That's fair.
yeah, Monica
I was
talks
upset
about
for
it.
a minute there, but then you said it. Okay.
Some
And then you
cream
get to pick an appetizer, either a hot or a cold appetizer.
Did you go hot?
I did. I got spare ribs as an appetizer,
That
which
sounds
was
okay.
nice.
That's about the right.
Jayla got
kind
a
of
salad, and
appetizer.
I was like, I'm not getting a salad when there's spare ribs available.
Unless it's a spare rib salad.
Yeah, it's just
All
crazy.
the lettuce.
Yeah. Then
Just
I
a bowl of spare ribs.
yeah.
Got it.
How do you eat spare ribs? Then you get an entree. You can either get seafood or a red meat, and then you could get dessert. And then they had a moose boost desserts before your dessert. So it
There
was
you go.
nice.
Nice. Trey, did you do anything fancy?
I went out of town. Don't tell Chuck.
Saw the Punch Brothers for like the 1000th time.
Only the 3rd time, but yes.
It feels
La-
like you
the-
see them all the time.
The 3rd time last week.
I mean, if only.
I like the Punch
I can't
Brothers
say
though.
anything. my story is very similar.
Yeah, it's 3rd, maybe 4th time, but I'm almost positive it's the 3rd time I've seen them. They continue to be friggin' amazing.
You've been this
Um,
year though, right?
to Punch Brothers.
Yeah. It feels like you just went to
I feel
them.
like you would go to a Mumford
Last year,
and
though.
Sons show.
Like in December last year?
I mean, I might if they were close by and it was cheap. So what?
Like in December last year? It feels
It was
close.
last half of the year.
Okay,
I'd have to go
alright.
back and look. But yeah, no, I went to Knoxville and saw them last year.
Yeah, I remember.
At the Bijou.
I like that theater.
Amuse
Which was a-
bouche.
That venue.
Yeah, it was at least a year ago
It's a
because they sent me a thing about it was for like this thing they do called the Jubilee.
Josh has been to several of those.
Jubilee?
Jubilee.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
get it.
my bad.
I didn't get it. But
Well,
anyways,
it
they
is
sent me a thing
July.
for that. But yeah, no, this one was at the
Hashtag subtle
Tabernacle.
anti-Semitism.
This one was at the Tabernacle in Atlanta, which is a venue I have not been to for a show that's like that laid back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my shows there have been significantly not
Yeah,
that.
and it was much nicer when I'm not getting like pummeled on the floor by it. Like that's basically moving like you're in the fucking ocean.
Oh, that place moves. That place is
It's
scary
crazy.
to be.
It's
But
like
not for the
Rocket
Punch
Town in
Brothers, it turns
Nashville.
out.
The whole
God,
floor
it's-
moves.
Yeah, that's how it
scary.
is in the Tabernacle too. But we stayed at the DoubleTree down there, the American. It's like a redone like 50s
That's the
hotel.
way to stay.
Man, it was really nice.
Every time somebody says DoubleTree, I think of Mitch Hedberg. I love that.
I miss Mitch Hedberg.
Single tree.
True story.
You
that's
you
what-
got sprinkles all over you.
I do. Mainly up on this area right here.
You still got a little.
Little gray here.
Little
as
brighter.
well. No. Yeah. So I also went to a concert this past week. The reason I wasn't here, not because I was fired, you dicks.
Three for All podcast
However,
lives on in our hearts.
Logo change coming.
I did get to go see my favorite band, Coheed and Cambria, for the 13th time.
Last week.
I wish. It was a very weird show. So I actually ended up I did hook up with a couple of friends who were going. I ended up driving, but it was nice to actually have people to go with. It's the only time I've ever been there. So I've seen them, like I said, a
Well,
lot.
you've been with us before.
what I was saying is it was an outdoor arena.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like the Tabernacle.
amphitheater?
It wasn't. Yeah, it was.
In
And
Atlanta,
I've seen them. Yeah, I've seen them in a setting like that once before, but they weren't the headliner, and it was not this kind of place. It was called Chastain Park.
Oh, yeah.
It's the weirdest venue I've ever been
The
to.
one you just went to?
Yeah.
I don't think I've been to that one.
It's super
What's the old
clean.
High Five Bias?
That's Lakewood.
Lakewood. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one I've been to.
Yeah,
This
I've been to
was
Lakewood
like
several times.
the cleanest concert
just
venue
went.
I've ever been to. It's in the middle of this rich ass town, basically. Like, so half the homes look like they're from the beginning of the country, and half of them look like they were built last week. There's literally somebody's giant, like 7-bedroom home directly across from the parking lot. So the bummer of the concert was they had to be done by 11 o'clock, no matter what. So there was no. It's the first time I've ever seen them where there wasn't an encore.
Ordinance.
It was also probably the weakest like set list they've ever had. It was
What's the name of it?
Chastain Park.
There's a golf course out there too.
Yeah. It's a cool amphitheater though. But, like the
Where I
pit
shat my
area
pants.
had like folding chairs instead of being open. And I paid extra to like get pit tickets because that's what I like to do for a Coheed show. And so to go there and then like everybody just standing in a row, you could only like approach the stage if you were in the first row of seats, which is really fucking lame.
Yeah, that's weird.
And then like I said, I've seen them 13 times. I've probably heard every one of those songs a minimum of 10 times live. Like at least when they do their like standards for their shows, they normally throw in a couple of songs they don't play like regularly, but like this was literally just like if you went to see the Beatles and they only played their greatest hits type thing. Like you only see them play like those exact same songs every single time. It was a bit of a bummer, which is why I ended up not getting tickets to the next night show, which I was planning on doing in Nashville because I also had friends who wanted me to go with them there. But it was still, I mean, it was fun.
Where was the Nashville show at?
Actually, I didn't end up looking. It was another open amphitheater though. I don't
Oh,
know
it's probably the
where.
new amphitheater down by the, well, not newish amphitheater down by the water.
Yeah, Taking Back Sunday opened for them. I ended up not really liking that band as much as I thought. Like
I saw other people that went to the show that loved them.
yeah, a lot of people really, really liked them. I personally just did not think that they were that good. I thought, like, I understood or I recognized like 4 or 5 of their songs, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But the mixing isn't very good. I can't hear them that well. And yeah, they got a lot of energy on stage, but at this point, it's like 90 degrees outside. I just want to see Coheed and go home.
You
Which
should have
was
saw
sad.
Hoobastank.
I should have. You know, I bet Hoobastank would have had a better show.
No,
No?
they don't put on a bad show. They don't put on a good show.
I've seen
they're just there.
Hoobastank twice.
I've seen them once with you.
Yep.
Weren't you like backstage for it at some point? or
Yeah,
something like that?
I ate with them at Taco Mac.
There you go.
Who?
Hoobastank.
Hoobastank.
You did that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Is it?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, they're still a band, I guess. People know
Are
who
they
they
still?
are.
Do
I
they
mean,
do
I got-
music now?
I got backstage
Are we
with...
doing the Who's Line questions
I'm-
only? What's happening?
I'm genuinely interested about the current whereabouts of Hoobastank.
Why?
Because why wouldn't you be?
You suck at this game,
Lots
Evan.
of reasons.
You would have been tagged out like 10 times ago.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not playing a game. I legit want to know where Hoobastank is.
They're
This is
around.
not a game to Evan.
This
playing-
is like when we discovered that Hanson was still making music and then Trey loved them.
He does. Dude. How many times have you seen Hanson live?
I do. Hanson will surpass Punch Brothers this November.
How many times have you seen Weird Al live?
That's
Just
fun.
once.
Just the once?
Yeah,
Because he
it's not
seems to
weird.
come back to Chattanooga like every year now.
I almost saw, got tickets the second time and then decided not to,
I,
but
st- I still haven't gone to see him. I think next time he's here, I'll probably
sadly,
go.
Hoobastank's in third at 2 times. I don't go to a ton of concerts, so I haven't like seen multiple
Yeah,
shows of the same
Only
band.
when Hoobastank is there.
But they lead at Taco Mac.
That was what this was when I was in I was a freshman at UTC, and I totally thought like Taco Mac was the epitome of good food in Chattanooga. So that's what I suggested.
there was a time where there was a lot of our friends that thought that.
Yeah,
Well,
I
all
was
right.
definitely in that group.
And then I
You
start
sons of
a new position at work, at least in interim.
Doggy?
No. No.
The lazy dog.
On August 1st, for at least a month, I'll be doing something new, which means my schedule is changing up a little bit too. But it's cool. It's kind of volunteering for Saturday shifts, to be like a manager. You in that kind of a role.
2 of the 3.
You didn't watch the No Man's Sky one, did you?
No.
Man,
I saw the No Man's Sky one.
I think it looks cool as shit.
It looks better.
Yeah, so yes, a week from today, or a week from yesterday. Sorry. Am I right on that? Yes. Yesterday was the 17th. It's cool. Basically, they're adding in the game that they originally promised with some additional things as well.
3 years later.
It's been 2 years, and
Is it a $60 refund?
no, it is not.
God,
It's
if
that
only.
game is like $20 now for people who want to get in on it though. If you watch the trailer, it's cool. It definitely has a graphical upgrade. They've added in the ability to be in third person at all times if you want. So there's customization of your character. There is multiplayer. They say basically you can team up with smaller groups of people, which appears to be 4 as of now. Although it does look like you might be able to be alien races as well.
I traded that game for a Disney movie.
You did. What movie?
Beauty and the Beast. Yeah,
It was me.
the cartoon one.
Mm-hmm.
Was it worth it?
Oh yeah.
Who are you asking? You should clarify.
I think
sorry.
this trailer-
No is the answer.
I do think this trailer looks cool. You can have like a fleet of ships now. There's apparently better customization in terms of like new items for your base building. You're no longer limited to building on just one home planet. You can build anywhere. Build a like frigate ship that you could do before, but the customization is better, and then you control it and do like multiplayer missions and things in the game as well. Plus, there's the survival elements and still like the revamped story that they did a couple months or a year back now. They've been like consistently updating that game, and apparently it's been like better and better each time. I think that trailer actually looks pretty cool. It definitely looks like more No Man's Sky, but it doesn't look as janky as it did before.
God, it was janky.
The famous Jurassic Park shitty recorder music with the dinosaur video, which is among my favorite 15-second videos on the internet. But
It's amazing.
It really is.
I almost threw up. I laughed so hard the first time I saw that.
I enjoyed that game for what it was when it came out. I actually think I might re-download it and give it a try next week, just to see how much it's changed. I never actually beat it, so why not?
Cool.
Shut up. Thanks, man. Appreciate your.
I mean, go ahead.
What'd you think of the Call of Duty trailer?
I mean, it's Call of Duty.
I think it looks cool. The Black Ops Zombie one.
Yeah.
That's the.
I like. I
Voyage
mean,
of
they're
Despair.
doing some different stuff with zombie. I mean, it's just a little showing a little of what they described
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago or 2 months ago, whatever.
It makes me wish they would just go kind of like full-fledged with this as the story mode. I don't know why they haven't done that yet. Like the Black Ops story, I get people like, and this one doesn't even have that. But like this had legit voiceover and cutscenes.
Yeah, I was gonna say the cutscenes were new, so I mean, it was kind of like a mini story, and that's what they're using to justify not putting a story in that and Battle Royale. But
it felt like almost entirely cutscene, actually. Like there was only like a few shots of a first-person camera perspective. But I mean, it looks cool. There's like weird time traveling going on, and
I'm interested. I think I'm probably gonna get it just to check it out. I may not get it at launch because I'll still be playing Spider-Man and Tomb Raider most likely.
Yeah.
it's going to be an interesting time for sure. I meant to include the cursed sales trailer for Sea of Thieves, but it really wasn't much in there.
There's
as well.
not hardly anything to it.
It's just a couple of pirate or skeletons showing up at like the main island.
There's skeleton ships now.
Yeah, and they do the Davy Jones thing where they sail under the ocean afterwards.
So now someone else shoots you down.
Yeah. And well, this time they're not going for your treasure; they just want to kill you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to get back into that game as well.
I do too, and like get better at it.
That is true. Did
We
anybody
died a lot.
Mm-hmm.
did anybody watch the Darksiders 3 gameplay?
That looks like a PS2 game.
It doesn't look great. I think. Have you played any of the Darksiders games?
No, I have always wanted to, and then everyone said they were bad, and
People actually really love those games. There are
this game
swaps
first.
of
one-
people-
Darksider?
Yeah.
No, the first one everybody loves. Like I've never saw
The s-
anybody that's played that game.
The
and
second
didn't
one
like
is
it.
more divisive. I do know people who
Yeah.
absolutely love it though.
This looks terrible.
So it's a new developer, and it is definitely a scaled down budget. But like, I think especially the first one, it is Zelda with like Devil May Cry type combat.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it always sounded cool to me, but like, the combat's probably cool in this one. Graphically, it legit, at best, it looked like an early 360 game.
I don't think it looks quite that bad, but it's definitely not.
Yeah,
as
and I'm
pretty
not
as
trying
it
to do
should be.
hyperbole. While I was watching it, I was like, this is incomprehensibly bad.
Like, see, I'm not quite there. It could be prettier, but like, I think the style they're going for is just.
I mean,
it
graphics aren't
feels-
everything.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it feels like if a game like Legacy of Kain were made today. Like, it has that kind of cartoony
Oh, they should bring that back.
gothic style. I wish they would actually.
That game's good.
Soul Reaver on the Dreamcast was like one of
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite games to play. I don't know what I was doing in it, but I enjoyed it.
You're fighting stuff.
Yeah, it was a zombie or a
Just
vampire.
fine stuff.
Yeah.
It was a vampire who had like no bottom jaw or something like
yeah.
that. It was,
Yeah, you take your scarf off and you
you
suck out
suck their
souls for.
yeah.
It's like Chamber.
bet he's from a comic.
Tom
isn't he?
Chambers?
No.
Tom the Bomb
He did not play
Chambers
for.
from
He did
Phoenix
not play
Suns?
for the Suns. Chamber is an X-Men character.
Oh.
I figured as much.
I like
Man, I've
Tom
been watching
Chambers
those
better.
movies again lately.
They're pretty awesome.
Tom Chambers had
Most
movies?
of them.
No.
I mean, it was
No.
a sweet set shot
I
jumper.
started, so
Oh, yeah.
they're
Him and
pretty
Jeff
awesome
Hornacek.
when you start with First Class and watch those. I do want to go back and watch X2 again because I do
Two's still good.
genuinely love that movie. The first one, you take or leave it, and the third one is fucking bad,
It's all right.
as is Wolverine. But watching Origins, then The Wolverine, then First Class, and then I just watched, I mean, not First Class. Well, yes, that too, but Days of Future Past.
Uh-huh.
I skipped Apocalypse, and then I watched Logan.
You shouldn't. Apocalypse is
is
solid.
not a good movie, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it
a
is.
it's a solid
It's
movie.
it's not a great movie, but it's a good movie.
I disagree. I don't think it's that good.
What is a little less than good?
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Fair enough.
All right, I guess I'll give you that. That's fair.
Thank you.
Um,
That's what I was seeking.
In fact, most of the
I
movie's
appreciate
good.
that.
Apocalypse wasn't good.
Apocalypse, like himself, was very bad in my opinion, which is weird because he's a great actor. That's gonna be all the trailers that we talk about. Actually, let's talk about one more thing though before we get into the news for the next show.
Uh-oh.
Ad-libbing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just in time for Comic-Con, Nathan Fillion had been teasing a few things on Instagram over the past week. He tweeted a picture of the singer Drake.
And Boone wants you to know you were wrong, Chuck.
Apparently so.
Take that, Chuck. I don't know what you're
Well, I
wrong
went
about.
on his
but-
Twitter, and it was just like him showing a bunch of stuff of him hiding treasures.
Oh, he's been doing that for years on Instagram.
Yes, I know, and Twitter. It's all I saw on his feed for like the past 2 months.
Yeah, no, he only did this last week only. He had the picture of Drake, and he had quoted this past Monday's date and Sick
Mike's-
Parvis Magnum.
Yeah.
Magnum?
P.I.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna call it
we'll
that.
talk about him later.
Will we? All right, you know
Oh,
what?
yeah.
We're not going to spoil it. Don't worry about it. And then the following day, later that same day, he tweeted a picture of just like some generic maps and like a magnifying glass, and again said 7/16/18. People were freaking out, thinking that it was him basically saying he's going to announce for Comic-Con that he's in the Uncharted movie as Nathan Drake, or even as Sully. Some people had thought. Turns out it's about a 15-minute fan-made movie. Good production value for what it is.
It's very good production value for a fan-made movie.
Yeah, it kind of people have likened it to the Power Rangers.
It probably cost a couple $100,000 to make.
Yeah, I would assume the Power Rangers short that came out before the new movie,
Yeah, I
the
remember
Adi
that.
Shankar made thing that people like freaked out about.
I chose not to watch that.
I watched half of it, the James Vanderbeek one, and I was like, this is fun.
I watched all of it.
But
It was
until it's
pretty
going to be
good.
an actual movie. But this actually kind of got me pretty excited.
This was him doing the Deadpool test footage of trying to get them. Because, I mean, there is a Uncharted movie. Tom Holland is signed on for it.
Who knows
They're doing
what's
a
gonna come
young
of that,
Drake.
though.
But it has been stuck in developmental like hell. Like, there's been no movement on it. There's not even like meetings going on currently. It's just sitting there. So if he does this and there's a huge response, which so far there has been, he
Yeah.
could very likely get them just to be like, do you want out of this, Tom Holland? Sure. All right, now we're going to make this movie with Nathan
Yeah.
Fillion.
Yeah, it had like 1.5 million hits in the first 12
It's
hours.
at
or
2.5
something like that.
now,
Like,
yeah.
It's a video game only franchise, so it gets like very fervent fans, but he's also not like the world's biggest box office star. So, I mean, 2 million views in the first 3 days is pretty
He has
impressive.
a very dedicated fan base.
A very
though.
dedicated fan base,
sure.
and he's great. I love the guy. I think he fits the role of Drake. I've always thought he would. Obviously, that's
His
been, like,
attitude's
everybody's
perfect.
Dream
He
casting
has
for
the
it.
look. He needs to. I mean, ideally he'd be a little younger, but playing a little bit older Drake's not a bad thing.
Depending on the timeline too, this
yeah.
could
Yeah.
be
I
one
mean,
last run.
well,
of
they
thing after
established
4.
that this was like after Uncharted 3. Basically, they're like, "You're the guy that found this place, this place."
Yeah,
this
they did
place."
like the
Okay.
guy who found
Shambhala
El
and
Dorado,
all- El Dorado,
and Shambhala and all that. Like, it was a cool little tie-in. Just in general, like to see what a movie like that would possibly look like. It got a little cheesy toward the end when they did the game perspective in a way.
He needs to slim up a little bit.
A little bit. I think he's probably. It looks like he's dropped maybe
Yeah,
20, 30
he looks
pounds
better
already,
than
but-
he has. Yeah,
And he's totally capable of
When-
getting in the correct shape.
Yeah, I mean,
when it went to
Hollywood actor, yeah, he could do
Yeah.
it.
so he just gets kidnapped and he's pulled into this like gangster house with all of his henchmen, which it seems he's down in Mexico or
It looks similar to that.
somewhere
yeah.
like that, or some Latin American country. Chayton Littlestone from Banshee season 3 is the main bad guy there.
Does he shoot a man in half?
He does not.
And the kid from TMNT2 and Surf Ninjas is the like badass little El Tigre.
Oh, that's also the guy from the Rundown.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I believe he is. Yeah, the little guy from
I know he is.
the tiny guy from the Rundown.
Anyways,
yeah.
so they're like torturing him because he's stolen some bracelet that belongs to their mysterious boss that you never see. And most of it's him doing banter and getting tortured and
making fun of the
and it felt very
henchmen and
good.
shit.
When he breaks out, there's a shooting thing, and that's when they like went into like video game view. And I agree, a big budget movie wouldn't do that, but for fan film, it felt right.
Case in point, sir.
House of the Dead.
I argue not just that, which actually
Doom.
put video game footage in the
Doom?
middle of their action scenes.
Yeah.
But Doom, yes, they would. So let's not like gloss over that.
Doom taught Hollywood a lesson.
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't
How
know
many
if it
people
did.
really watched that? I don't think Hollywood was like really
Paying
wanting to
attention
see
to the
how
Carl
that-
Urban-
Free for all podcast learned.
I'm
their
just saying it
lesson.
hasn't happened since.
Not well. The Rock's a leading man now, sir.
Fair enough.
That's what they learned. Anyway, but
The
yeah,
most important
it goes
lesson.
some like some weird, but it's not even that bad either.
No, it's not like overt. Although
But
somebody,
after that, like, so Stephen Lang is Sully.
I got to tell you, I'm not wild about him or Elena. As much as I love Stephen Lang,
I thought the girl looked a lot like Elena. She was
she kind of had a little overly bitch face.
so Elena.
No,
What a
Shut
shitty thing to say.
your mouth.
Chloe forever, sir.
Elena
Chloe
over
is a
Chloe
skank
every way.
with hair stuck to her.
They
Chuck's-
did name
Chuck's
drop.
correct.
They did name drop Chloe though. Also, if they did this movie,
That was the
and
appropriate response, by the way.
if they did make this movie and Jason Statham did not play Cutter, I would be incredibly angry.
So they at the end, like when he escapes with, and they're like looking at the treasure they got, and he found all these maps. Like the story they flesh out that they've created for this is really intriguing, and
It
it felt
felt like an
very
Uncharted
Uncharted.
story.
And like they were doing, like he finds a way to read the map with this thing he just stole, and like, you're like. That's when I was like, okay, this is actually good, and I would actually, I want more of this.
I've
I've always been like, take it or leave it on an Uncharted movie. I like also maybe just kind of give me a new game because they're almost like movies anyways, and they last 30 hours.
Yeah. For me, like the thing I liked about it so much is that Uncharted has like a very specific type of adventure that they do, and like yes, it apes Indiana Jones and the games, it apes the Tomb Raider style and everything else, but like everything fits within a certain timeline in terms of the actual investigations they do. Like Magellan is brought up a lot, and Sir Francis Drake, and like it all kind of revolves around this specific time period and like almost pirates and things like that, which they turned in really heavily in Uncharted 4. And this one does the same thing. This is another Magellan story, and like to me, it's like they didn't just make this because
Magellan and Albuquerque.
they didn't just make this because people had said for years, oh, Nathan Fillion should be Nathan Drake. They actually did this and at least put the research in to be good fans.
I still hate it.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, I hope this kind of stokes the fire, at least to even get the Tom Holland movie made, and maybe they bring in Fillion as a cameo or even like a flashback sequence at the beginning. And
Telling you,
end
Time
type thing.
Paradox, 2 Drakes.
I don't know if we need 2 Drakes, unless the singer Drake is one of them because he's everywhere anyway.
I want
so.
it.
Do
I
you?
really do. I like Drake.
All right, then. But that's going to wrap up show number 1 for us. Make sure you stay tuned to the rest of the shows this week. We'll talk about a little bit of video game news and what we've been playing for the last God knows how long since
2
we did a
months.
podcast.